Babydolls, recently in Miami, there was this like UFO encounter. And it's actually kind of crazy because you hear of it, you're like, it's okay, it happened in a mall, show us the video. Well, one of the kids has a dad who was a police officer. And he asks his dad, he was a police officer there, and he says, hey dad, can you release or talk about the UFO video? Watch, his dad says, nope, not allowed to. Watch, it gets deeper, friends. Check this out.
He says, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Can you at least say, like, whatever? So, okay, so they're saying it's like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars?
Yeah, a bunch of kids with sticks.
Are you serious? You can't say anything? You're no help, dude. I'm sorry.
Right, so...
So, crazy, right? So, you're listening to this, you're like, interesting. So, there's a UFO encounter in Americana, Miami, and this guy was actually involved. You see this video, friends? I want to actually show his recalling account inside Bayside Mall. Look, man, I'm telling you now, friends. He said he's going to tell you he saw 9-foot aliens, him and multiple other people, and it looks glitchy. Now, this is interesting. So this is where, like, friends, it's not even a debate. This stuff is happening. That's like, if you think it's not happening, go line up for your 7th jab and go bend over and go, like, believe whatever's on the TV. Okay. There's an issue, though. Okay. When we see glitches in the Matrix, we don't know if it's our brains interpreting the message how aliens want us to, because that's another phenomenon where there have been abductions from UFO stories where they're only able to retell this from hypnosis. So under hypnosis, they're able to kind of like the brain relaxes and able to recollect memories. There's been cases where the aliens, right, whatever they are, you know, UFOs, extraterrestrials, whatever, they're on the ship and they're talking to obviously someone who got abducted, and they'll say like, you'll now remember everything as an owl. You know, an owl, like hoot, hoot. That's pretty much it. So there's been stories where the end of the conclusion with the trip of the abductee stories, they're basically like, obviously humans, you're like, tell me more. I don't want to leave. Show me all the secrets of the universe. And there's like, nah, get out of here, stinky, pesky human. Get out of here, right? And that's pretty much what they're doing. They're kind of like trying to just morph your memory as to what you're seeing. There's also the issue of holograms, but, you know, check this out and what the kid says.
This weird experience and moment. So basically what happened was I was there with my brother Brian and my sister and my nephew. We were looking for shoes for my nephew. And then we see a whole crowd of people outside the store just running out in a direction. So, you know, as soon as we saw it, we were like, oh shit, you know, what's going on? So we immediately ran out with our nephew and you know, we picked him up and we ran out and we followed the crowd. And then about like a few seconds later, as soon as we started running, my nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us and he was saying blanky, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we looked behind us and then we see these 3, 9, 10 foot tall creatures. I'm not going to say aliens.
Mate, 9, 10 foot. 10 foot, that's the height of a basketball hoop, right? That's crazy tall. I mean, not for me, because I could just dunk that.
Everyone keeps saying it's aliens. I'm not saying aliens, because I don't know what it was. None of us really knew everyone. All of us stopped in our track. We, you know, a whole bunch of people were pointing at it. I mean, there were other people running. You know, there was a crowd. As soon as it made itself more apparent, it looked like it was glitching, not like a...
See, when he said glitching, that's the same thing as the graffiti artist said on the last video that I showed you. Glitching. He kept on saying about glitching. Now, the argument could be, well, they're listening to other people's stories and they're just sort of like creating, you know, it's also a bit like that phenomena of sleep paralysis, where the question is, why is everybody seeing the same thing? Well, it's because people are always talking about it and it's just spread. So when people are in sleep paralysis, they think about all those stories. But then there's another argument about like certain areas of whatever, mate. What I'm saying is they could be listening to other people's stories and just sort of like adding on to that. But I don't know, mate. He just seems quite legit.
Computer pixelation, but like a wavy glitch. And whatever maybe was covering them had, you know, unveiled or whatever. Yeah, it looked like a glitch, man. It like a weird glitch in the Matrix or whatever. And then you could see it in its full form, all 3 of them. And then, you know, they were all black. You saw eyes, and you could faintly see like like lips, but yeah, I was about like 20 feet away, because obviously everybody gave it distance, right? And you know, they're tall.
I can't remember what.
And just to throw it out here, friends, if you go to Google, you can type in like alien abduction sketches. So these are people's different recollections. So there are many, many out here, friends. These are different people. They're sitting on a bed. Sometimes it looks scary, kind of like, hey, you're an alien with a giant brain. There's actually ones like you look at them, you're like, wow, you look like you're straight out of like a Middle Ages kind of textbook. There's all the ones out here. I know these ones like a joke ones, but you can actually find, friends, over time, people have drawn stuff. This one's a common one. I remember this. Look at this. Wow, this is in Mississippi. This is what they look like. Look at this. It's got like a slug head. And he's 6 foot tall. You know, and you look at one, you're like, oh, what were you smoking, bro? Send some over to me. What's your Bitcoin target? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you see. But this is happening over and over again. If you've been following me, friends, you know last year, I made this post showing you back in Peru, there's a story here. Okay, this is crazy. This guy went and investigated it, all right? There were what they call face peelers. So I'm not joking. This is what actually happened, friends. This is literally these stories pretty much confirmed. And we think it could be UFO military tech. So really tall creatures covered in black, riding on floating hoverboards, move on over, and they were basically going to slit the throat of one of the Peruvian girls. And it's kind of crazy, right? They call them face peelers. Because it's been like, it's one of the ancient, not even ancient things, been going on in the villages for quite some time. They literally peel the faces of them. I can show you like skulls and stuff. I don't want to. Now, this is the funniest part, friends. They paid one of the girls, see this girl? They paid her to hold up this picture. You see this picture? It was psyops taken from the movie. So she comes out and leaks, goes, hey man, there's these face peelers that came over. What they did was, friends, they came in, they tried to numb her face and try to slit her throat and peel her face off. And it's funny, yeah, they actually look like they came out on jetpacks. Now, this is the interesting part is this is where it gets spooky. It's like, okay, I'm spooky. Kind of like, okay, it's probably UFO tech, but it's owned by humans. But you're wondering, are they some offshoot paramilitary? Is it the cartel who's taken it? But why are they coming and peeling off human faces? Why are they going and do that? Like just a random village girl. Is it a sacrifice? Is it something they have to do because they have to, you know, do it for other aliens? Maybe they've made a pact and a deal. There was also this other stuff. Look at this. There are these beings, friends. Look at this. I made this whole post out here. The girl who got attacked gave a shocking retelling of events. They used the hoverboard to zip around. They grabbed her and numbed her face. Then they started cutting and then stopped and then zipped away. Was this a Black Ops military secret tech? Look at this. The beings were tall, 6 to 8 feet. All had black armored bodysuits, were long, elongated heads. They were always surfing on these circular platforms, can zip up to the sky using their feet. So when they described it, they literally got up like 100 meters into the sky with this massive hoverboard. So, but it's kind of like, we don't know. Like, is it people who, some people rumored like, oh, it's the cartel and drug people. But I don't know, man. Do cartel go around and just murdering random village people for just no reason? Like, there's obviously some sort of black military tech operations going on. Now, here's the crazy part. See this picture? This is, ain't fake, bro. This is the crazy part, friends. See this picture? This is where, okay, just random stuff happening. Now, this started happening last year. And I'm starting watching this on the radar. Look at this. The beings could lunge into the air at very high speed. Their hover platforms were 3 feet in diameter and they can accelerate completely silent. All descriptions were the same by every villager. The craft is shaped like an acorn. In one case, the craft was transparent. After the village attack, there was a mysterious downtime. A villager comes out to newspaper and shares this fake photo from a movie. It's clear that something went wrong and they wanted to make a fake story from the media to cover it up. Fake jetpack cartel story. Look at this. They call it the Pelacaras, are nicknamed face peelers for a reason. They have been known to cut faces of people in the village and they have advanced US tech. They're 6.5 to 8 feet tall and gun bullets do not work on them. Is this Black Ops CIA operation? See this? This is where it gets confusing. One explanation given by a Peru teacher is that it's illegal mining cartels using state-of-the-art tech. Here's a problem with that. Villagers report shooting these alien dudes. The bullets do not hit them at all and they disappear. In a recent attack on a Peru village, there was a family who recorded manta aliens in the trees. On one hand, it seems like it's just dudes in a jetpack, but on the other hand, weird creatures in the night appear. So, friends, these videos are crazy. And actually, in my post here, friends, I actually show here, they actually go on an expedition. They go here to investigate all these people. And look at them, they're actually carrying a gun. Yeah, so they're crazy, right? They shot at them. Bullets don't work. But you're thinking, oh my gosh, is it alien? Well, no, it could just be paramilitary stuff where they have armor that is repellent. They have anti-bullet stuff like that. They just don't release out there. So, friends, these things have been appearing random parts of the world, and they're not like collected. But all of us, obviously, you pay attention to the UFO stuff. You're
Since
like,
the 8th
okay,
of August,
this stuff appears,
Peru has been
and it gets really crazy. I mean, this is kind of looks a bit scary, right? You can
slowing
see.
down. It makes it difficult to photograph them.
This is actually them.
The
Look
man
at this.
then detailed that
What I'm gonna
several
show you now,
local
look at
these
this.
entities have been encountered.
Watch. This is
Those
not what
who
it looks like
investigate
here,
the
but watch.
unknown have said that glowing orbs are typically described as spherical objects that emit a soft, often pulsating light. Witnesses report a range of colours, including
That's a real one, friends, right there.
white, orange, blue, and green. These orbs are observed to move silently through the sky, sometimes hovering in place or
So right now, friends, this is going to be from, I'm showing you right now. I know it's very dark, you see here, but if you watch the video, it's just like a bunch of people screaming. And this is, see this light? See this zoom in? If you zoom in, that's this part. It's an actual manta. It looks like a manta creature. You know praying mantis, friends? Like that bug. Yeah, praying mantis. Yeah, that's actually what they look like. I swear, you just watch this, you're like, oh, that's weird. That's strange. A fake alien invasion. So we all know these, friends, like part of the... I don't know, friends, this UFO guy stuff really deep. One of the guys they got from Germany, who was a Nazi rocket scientist, I think he helped found NASA. And then he built one of the basically early rockets for basically the US of A. Ends up having a secretary. And it was basically his life secretary for like 40, 50 years. I forgot his name, like Weinman or something. I think it starts with W, his surname. Anyway, on his deathbed, pretty much, he tells her... This is crazy, friends. I know. He tells her on his deathbed, look, the next series of world events are coming. This is what they're going to try to do. And it's all going to end with the grand finale. A fake alien invasion. He tells her this in literally like 1970. He says everything going to have... Now, I don't know if they predict exactly the world events by now, but they basically say, look, a lot of this stuff's pre-programmed. He basically says that all these world events are pre-programmed. And that's basically where it's all going. They call it the fake alien invasion. So if you look at fake alien invasion, we always joke about it, meme about it. Yeah, the friends like, we're like, oh, here comes a fake alien invasion, where it's kind of like, friends, you remember when it was like 9/11? They're like, oh, the bad people are coming. And this tower mysteriously fell down. Wink, wink, wink. Definitely not us. Anyway, sign over all your rights so we can control you more. That's pretty much what happened. Now, they want to take it a step further, right? Now, don't think about it from a dystopian view, friends. This could just be part of our human programming the whole time. It's kind of like, I know a lot of people have this view of like, oh, no, it's going to turn out like the Matrix. We're just living bug cells and battery cells. But look, man, this could be it. What if for us to what we call transcending humanity, maybe this is what you have to do. Maybe everyone's testosterone levels, I mean, we'll be dead, you know, in like hundreds of years. Everything's dropping down. We become... There's less borders around the world. It makes sense, right? Because we're just a bunch of monkeys on islands, friends. You just keep throwing weapons on us. We're just going to blast everyone up. Hell, when the chart goes down, I want to blast whoever's selling, you know what I mean? So just imagine what people are out there thinking out here when it comes out like that. So that's why I've shown you all of these. And this guy, this is recently, right, talking about this. Now, see this guy talking about this 9-foot alien and stuff appearing? Watch, you're hearing this over and over and over again, all these reports around the world. You're like, okay, was this manipulated by an alien beaming something to his head to see these, or did they just glitch in the Matrix? Is it holographic? You don't know, but you know stuff's going on. Let's continue.
I'm sorry, but this is what I said on the last video, okay? About the graffiti artist saying about how he noticed this and this person did this and that they ran this way and this person fucking did a somersault and reached for his wallet and then went like, how is he taking in all that information when you have got something that you have never seen before in your whole entire life until bloody the end game Marvel came through and fucking Hulk came through the bloody portal or something? You haven't seen that before, so you would be looking at that like, holy shit. Okay, so I've got to disagree with that comment. I don't think that you would necessarily be like looking at other things going on. Well, no, bollocks, I'm going to stick to what I've said. Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think you would. You'd be like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? I'm off.
I froze. And I don't care who you are. I feel like when you're seeing something paranormal, it's different than when you're seeing a fight. Yeah, you'll probably want to record that and put it on WorldStar or whatever. When you see something paranormal, that's different. Because your reality, you can't comprehend what you're seeing. A fight, you kind of get it. Two people are fighting. You can comprehend that. something like this, none of us could comprehend. Your first instinct is like, it ain't to like take out your phone and start recording. Your first instinct is like, I've never seen this before. What is this?
Yeah.
Is it gonna hurt me?
Yeah. Because mate, when I show you the video footage in a bit, you'll be like, yeah, I understand why you wouldn't be stopping to get out your phone and recording that shit.
Or my family. That was my first number one priority. So if you don't believe me, I get it. You know, it's fine. Like, it is silly. I'm sure that someone had footage from that night. If you did, please contact me just so like, you know, we actually have it.
That made me a little bit dubious. It's like when he says, please contact me so we have it. I was like, we have it? Who's we, dude? Who's we? Are you wanting people to send you the footage so you can get rid of it? That's been me, like, the conspiracy theory, like, way out there, you know? But I just must stress, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just throwing down the evidence. I'm not too sure. I believe in aliens.
Friends, we're going to get through it. I want to also throw into your mind. There is an interview. I've got to find, I'll link it to you. There are Hollywood directors. Yes, these guys have made movies about aliens, okay? I forgot which alien it was. Like, it came out in the 90s. They shared a story, and they wrote the movie, and only one of them knew. He was in charge of, I think, basically putting it in the final film portion into, like, the, you know, the final production thing. He was in charge. So they, you know, been like, they wrote the movie, they'd filmed the stuff. It's been like 3 months, and this guy was working on his own accord. So he was like basically the producer, and he was the only guy who would know when the movie was done. The only guy. One night, he goes to the studio, and he finally finalizes it. He puts it together, and he finishes the movie. This is a real story, and they've actually retold it. Mysteriously, he didn't tell anybody about it, okay? Shortly after, I was like maybe the next day, he had like some dinner thing or something, right? Some like dinner thing or some meeting. I don't know what it was. Maybe at some, like, you know, maybe cocktail event, whatever. A random guy walks up to him. He said this guy looked like, he goes, a typical like Republican looking man, in terms of like maybe like a like, you know, like comb over hair, a suit, just a fully normal looking average guy. He walks up to him. He basically says, hey, that movie's going along really well, isn't it? It's glad you got that production done. Okay. So the producer's spooked because he goes, how the hell did this person know that I finished it? Because I was working in my office, but how did he know I finished it? He didn't say anything, okay? You know what the guy said to him? He goes, just want to let you know, the part in the movie about the aliens and infiltrating kind of like humanity, he said, it's not exactly like that. You got to change some stuff. Just to let you know. So in the movie, so I remember, my friends, I'm paraphrasing. You can look it up yourself. In the movie, there's a part where there's like an alien invasion and the aliens are harming humans. Okay, so there's like UFO, there's a part where aliens are harming humans, and they're like, if they get abducted, they're getting harmed. So this random guy appears out of nowhere, very mysterious and spooky, and says to them, hey, you know that script part? That's actually wrong. It doesn't actually work like that. He's telling them that. Okay? And they basically said, you should like make this change. And they did. Okay, they did. Now, they end up making that change. And guess what? On that night, the guy just mysteriously disappears. They never ever see him ever again. Okay? Never ever see him again. And, you know, there are sports stories like this where people in Hollywood or governments, just random parts in society, friends, people share a story like a random person appears. And if you read between the lines, friends, let's get down to it. It could be just like, it could be an alien themselves. They're in like a human form, you know, or it could be someone being brainwashed. I don't even know. I don't know, just alien human form, and they're trying to like guide humans. Like, hey, don't tell humans in this movie that like we're here to harm them. Change the story so that they know we're kind of like, yeah, we're kind of like to help them. We're kind of neutral. Don't worry about us. That's pretty much it. Okay, they share that story. I wish I could find it here for you, but it's out on the internet. It's not like it's deleted or anything. So this type of desensitization in Hollywood and stuff, it's very, very common knowledge. Everyone knows about it. But then, like we see last year and the year before, this stuff starts appearing of like alien attack in a village. I just thought it was just like people appearing. Now we're just actually getting full-on face peelers and stuff. What's going on? That's why we're all swaying like, oh, it's going to be the fake alien invasion where the government's going to say, oh, aliens have invaded. Don't worry, we've got, remember friends, do you remember Donald Trump's Space Force? You remember this, friends? This is the most suspicious thing. Look at this. In 2019, the House and Senate resolved their differences to pass the United States Space Force Act. See that? You see that? What do you think that is, friends? It's obvious what that is. It's, let's make a division. It's slowly building up. That's what they do, friends. This is why this alien invasion thing, it could be in the like 30, 40, 50 years. Like, oh, this thing's established and it starts with just like one little satellite to watch the skies and there's nothing out here. And then just like every couple of 5 to 10 years, there's a world event that just brings us closer and closer. And then there's a fake alien invasion. Now, I don't know what it eventually, the plan is for the government, but it doesn't take like a genius to figure out. It always ends up the same. It ends up with, we have fear, we have to trust governments more, and our rights get peeled off away, and we've got to conform to something every single time. You know this now. You look back and go, oh, wait. The 9/11, where the Jenga towers may or may not have crashed. You have the zombie virus. You see that? It's like, wait a minute. Like, they're all moving closer and closer, right? Where we just finally, one world currency, one world stuff. And a lot of people think it's dystopian. Maybe it's not, friends. Maybe that's the plan the whole time. Maybe because we're living life like one lifetime at a time, pretty much, Maybe our streams of consciousness are all linked. Who the hell knows? Just telling you that it makes sense. You look at a bird's eye view, you go, oh, this thing is happening. It's just that most people, friends, they're just they're literally zombies. Literally zombies themselves. That's why we had a zombie virus. They're looking at the TV box going like, I'm the most special person in the world and the world revolves around me. No, you're not. You're literally a little peanut and it's moving in such slow motion, you can't even understand what the hell is going on. Okay? Let's continue.
So anyways, as soon as the creature started moving, we all just jetted out there. We ran out the front doors. And, obviously, like, we see a whole sea of cop cars, mad cop cars, where other ones were coming in. And we ran with our nephew, and then, a cop stopped us. They took us a bit of a safer area behind the cars. And then they asked us what we saw. And we told them what we saw. They wrote it down. And they asked everybody to check their phones. Not everybody, because there was mad people like running away too, right?
That makes sense. Like, there's not many footage of this going around because like the police asked for all the footage. And I did hear another comment that's saying that there isn't any footage because there was some sort of electrical interference and no electrical things was working. But then that would that would counter what I'm going to show you in a bit. Anyway, let's carry on.
I'm going to get everyone. So I'm wondering if someone's going to post a video. But yeah, they looked through everyone's phone. I didn't record anything, so I was fine. None of us recorded anything, so we were basically free to go. But in the distance, you could still see, like, I didn't see the beings come out the door, right? But you could see on the side of the building, kind of like that clip that everyone's seeing, that it was slowly walking. And it was like, it wasn't cloaking or glitching or whatever. It was walking. So I don't know if it seemed more like it was an interdimensional thing. Someone's coming into our dimension or whatever.
And this there, mate, right, what he just said there is, I've got a video that I'm going to show you that explains what he's talking about there, and I'm going to do it, like I say, live in front of you. I'm going to see if it actually is true.
A bunch of them, and I think, that it was just interesting, the police response, because there was a whole bunch of them. This ain't for no teenagers. No, this was for something way bigger. And it almost seemed like the cops had like a already made strategy for it, because they surrounded one of the beings with like all their police cars. They blared it up even louder because you could hear that it was louder, maybe as an attempt to like distract it or let it know like, hey, you don't belong here, right?
But he's saying it as in one. I thought there was like three.
And they were trying to like slowly move alongside with it, but I didn't see anything else after that, because me and my family, we got out of there. We went into our car, we went home, because we had our nephew with us, and we went to make sure like he was okay. So I'm still kind of like processing everything. Like, it's weird, but Yeah. I'm not saying that it's aliens. I know everybody's saying it's aliens. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I saw something coming through like a weird glitchy, maybe a portal or whatever. And it was like they were pretty tall. You could see some facial. It was they were very dark, like and shiny. But I can't tell if it was like a wet shiny or like a metallic shiny. And long limbs. Long limbs, long fingers. They were definitely humanoid in shape, and shadowy. But maybe that shadowiness was like from a glitch or whatever.
This
like
keeps on going on about glitch.
Maybe they had like fell off.
Yeah, the glitch, friends. It's always about the glitch. So it's very kind of hard to explain. Just have this like little remote controller. It's hard for us. Like I'm sure you're seeing Carl Sagan explain it. If you lived just on the surface of this and you were a circle, that's it. If you just lived on this circle and you were a 2D object, that's all you are. And then, like, you can't conceptualize what an orange is. You can't, because you're a circle. All you know what is a square and a triangle and a rectangle. You don't know what an orange is. An orange is freaking, what's this color? What's this 3D sphere? So if a circle just appeared on here, you couldn't even see all of it. You would just see the cross-section of it. Basically, the booty of the orange. That's all you'd see appear on the piece of paper. You couldn't even see the whole thing. So that's how they kind of explain it. Maybe these things are kind of glitching in, but you don't really know, man. Like, are they testing tech? Were they testing? Friends, sometimes, that's why there's a lot of psyops going here with the CIA. Like, friends, they might have freaking tech right now. They'll just, man, they might have just some beam radio field and like, okay, let's see if we can like play this holographic thing that makes it look like this stuff has appeared for people. It just gets really, really hard. You know they know stuff. You know that there's more going on beneath the surface, and it just seems like some movie's been playing out. Now, friends, we're going to hear the next part. Now, this officer is going to explain the story, and you know it's a load of bullshit. He's literally, oh, get ready for this. You see what that kid just said? Oh, it's 9-foot aliens appearing. The explanation is there were 50 teenagers shooting fireworks at people. Oh my gosh. You don't want to know what something makes it a bit more difficult to get all these stories out, just to let you know. If you watch my previous video, friends, it's very common there's memory wiping. So they're able to wipe your short-term memory a lot. It's not just their Men in Black. It's not like a science fiction. They can do that. So it's possible that even the police officers who respond to this, there's like a moment in time in the future, they don't know, they're going into a room and they get like a memory of an event wiped. Or it could be wiped down already. You know, there's been cases like this where people have had experiences like this and they can't remember that period of time whatsoever. But other people know they were gone. They're like, hang on, you were gone here. And they're like, yeah, I remember that start and I remember coming back, but I have nothing in between. It's like completely deleted and they can only get it through hypnosis. And some people can't even get it at all. So, and it's not science fiction. It makes sense, right? Like, if somebody just spooked you and your whole existence, it's kind of like aliens like, look, man, I can't let you have this memory of what you just saw because you're a little monkey on a planet. Your brain's gonna go to mush. Like, you might even harm yourself. Like, you don't know what's going on. Interdimensional. You know what I mean? You just want to have your little cup of orange juice, go watch your movies, maybe go watch a rerun of Men in Black or something, have some fun on the weekend. Like, you can't contemplate what the hell you just saw, okay? Now, get ready to laugh at the official explanation.
Clips that are going viral on social media right now. First, our response to that big incident in Bayside Marketplace. What happened was there was about 50 or more juveniles that were shooting fireworks at people.
So 50 or more. It's not just a few kids with sticks. 50 kids, right? They had reports of 50 kids and gunfire, right? So let's just put this into perspective. If there's one person out on the street shooting up, there's going to be a hell of a lot of cop cars there, right? Am I guessing? Let's say 5 minimum, right? So if you're talking like 50 kids, you're going to be like, oh shit, this could go down. This could wipe out a hell of a lot of people if 50 kids have got guns and they're shooting everywhere, okay? So that would explain why there's a hell of a lot of police cars. I'm just calling it out, right? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. That would be more logical.
There was also some looting going on, so officers that were on that scene were having a little bit of trouble containing it, so they called what is called a citywide 3, which every officer in the city responded. That's why you saw so much police presence for that call to contain that crowd. Now, there is now video going viral of 8 to 10 foot aliens walking around.
Right, okay, so this is the video that I'm talking about. A lot of people are saying that the actual height of these, although it's terrible footage, the actual height of this in comparison to some of the cars, they look so much bigger. Looking at that, I'm not too convinced. I don't know.
Bayside is actually just a person walking with a shadow.
Well, it's not a person, because when we zoomed in, it does actually look like 2 or 3 people.
So I can confirm to you all here today right now that there are no aliens in Miami, in Bayside Marketplace at the moment. So it's Friday. I hope you guys have a great...
That's him. I had to throw that in there because, well, we've got to look at both sides of the story, right? So then this one... Let's go. Right, listen. Let's see.
They put the coordinates in backwards. They reversed them. Listen, y'all, listen. The Miami incident, right? Or at the mall. I was watching one of the victims, and he said that it seemed like a portal opened up, and all of a sudden these beings just came through. So it got me thinking, well, where did they come
That's another clue to the video that I'm going to show you at the end, mate.
from? Well, they had to come through a portal. So, just for shiggles, I went to Google Earth, went to the mall, got the coordinates, flip-flopped the coordinates, put that in Google Earth, and just to see where it would take me, it took me to the center of Antarctica. Do y'all remember what I was talking about? How there's an alien civilization in Antarctica living under the ice? Do y'all remember that?
Not yet, sweetheart. Sorry, 1 second. Not long.
Yeah, that's also another thing, friends, that'll actually blow your mind. I mean, you don't want to go down the Antarctica rabbit hole, do you? Because Antarctica, friends, you know... Oh, man, it goes real deep. I know this goes real deep. Antarctica, I don't know if you guys know this. I used to think, oh, it's just a piece of land out there on the Earth. Like, you know, you're in class, you got the little globe. Nah, apparently, automatic death. Shoot on sight if any of us try venture there. Yep. There's only a certain number of scientists allowed at any time. They go outside the perimeter, shoot on sight. Not allowed. Not allowed to report up. Not allowed to talk. It's very obvious, friends. Like, there's a lot of, like, let's just cut a lot of stuff. There has been an insane number of reports from US Army people. By the way, friends, just to let you know, one of the Babydolls in his channel, okay, Crypto Believer, I think he's in Pulse Chain. I think one of you guys, you told me, right? I don't know if you told me in the comments, so it has to be public, right? Him or his brother or his cousin has like an uncle, whatever. Someone in the family was one of the pilots who saw one of these UFO stuff around Antarctica. I don't know what they were doing there. Maybe like ate there and just like passed down as a family story. So shout out to you, sir. I still remember your story from a year ago, and that like blew my mind. I was like, wow, we actually, like, friends, everyone knows, man. Everyone knows. Just that. What are you going to do? Like, it's a funny part. We all know. It's just like if your voice gets too loud, the government's kind of like, you know what I mean? Because they don't want people to find out. But yeah, there's a large number of UFO sighting reports. Insane. People always say like UFOs just go zip into the ground there. There's a lot of ancient stuff going. There's like rumors, friends, that they found like pyramid stuff there. There's a lot of things that have happened there. So it's not, this is like, this, remember I told you, friends, I told you in my previous video, you watch one of these, you're like, nah. You watch 1,000 of these, and you're like, wait a minute. I watched the Antarctica video. I watched the pyramid thing. I watched this alien abduction story. I've seen this recent Miami thing, which came out of nowhere. This event of Miami goes straight to Antarctica. You're like, Antarctica, I remember that word, that place, where there's all these stories. Go look at there's all these US war Navy pilots and stuff, Navy stuff. A lot of things have happened around there, friends. It's just, yeah. I know it's crazy, all the bases and everything. There's also rumors that it's like a mothership. And yeah, I know you're going, the rabbit hole just goes so deep. But it's so hard to find information. 1, you get killed. 2, memory wiping. Okay, that's another part. Also, number 3, it gets hard because aliens can show you, they're basically us, friends. Okay, like whatever they are, extra beings, their tech is so advanced, they can show you what they want you to think it is. Okay, so it's literally like we make a movie and the actor is holding an apple in the hand, but you change the apple to an orange and you're watching the movie. Oh, it's got an orange in the hand. See what I mean? Magic. No, you just did CGI to make it. You wanted the audience to think it was holding an orange, so that's why you put that screen up. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's cool, isn't it? Let's go.
Because if not, let me remind you, there's supposedly a alien race living in Antarctica. And if they were trying to go to this alien base in Antarctica, they swapped the coordinates and ended up at the fucking mall in Miami.
Imagine that, mate. Because is it China? I think China read backwards, right? I think they do. I think it's China that read backwards. So maybe, you know, just because we read from left to right, maybe they just thought, okay, they read from right to left. I don't know. So let's have a little look at the coordinates, okay? Coordinates finder. Here we go. Uh-huh. Good sense. Right. Okay. And then the longitude. Unless I'm doing that wrong.
I'm tripping. Go to Google, find the coordinates for the mall, reverse the coordinates, and it will take you to Antarctica.
When you say reverse, do you mean change the...
So I wanted to throw that in, friends, just so you can see, like, because of humans dealing with extremely complex, deep stuff with really deep rabbit holes, we don't get everything right. There's always like these little glitches here and there, you make mistakes here and there. But you see one, you're like, oh, this is straight. This story isn't like perfect. It doesn't really matter, man. But after you keep watching over and over and over, different one, you're like, there's no way. Okay, this is either like the world has been on some sort of conspiracy journey to convince you of these, or some weird shit's going on. Actually, look at this too.
Copy that. Put that down there.
He reverses it.
And we'll put that one there.
Antarctica. Oh my gosh. It's real. Well. You see, friends, see his brain just frying. You go down this, you get so many of these moments. It's actually really fascinating to do that, and I feel sorry for everyone who was like UFO buff back in the 90s, because man, everyone just thought you guys are woo, because they didn't even have movies back then. See, it's friends. When we discover this, when I'm discovering this, it's easy for me because I get to sit here on a squeaky chair watching 50 videos spanning all the continents and all the stories, and Virginia in Brazil, you know, about the UFO landing there, and the UFO little demon, the one that lands there, and the hospital, and all the deaths and stuff. You get to watch all of them back and forth. You go, oh, it's obvious, duh. But these people, they just saw one thing, or they had to go off someone's word. They go, I believe. Like, well, just believing words, but it's just nuts, man. That's why we're lucky we actually get to see this. We actually live this like little alien renaissance, if you will. And now, friends, we'll finally get to that footage part so you can watch.
See it, because it took me, I was like, what are we seeing here? It took me quite a few attempts to actually see. Then when you do see it, okay, it's amazing. Now, the footage, again, is blurry as hell. Okay, it's like 360p. But I want you to tell me, if you've ever been to that mall, does it look familiar? Is it the mall?
Check it out.
Yeah, I know. Right there it is. Right there. That's it. Kind of hard. Right there. There it goes.
What are we looking at?
What are we looking at? Can't see shit, mate. Hang on.
Rewind it again one more time. I know, I'm telling
you. You want to be looking right on the edge here, yeah? Right on the edge here. They will slow it down and they will like stop it. Especially the second section.
Go to the right side, right here. Everybody's running.
Boom. Hang on.
See it? We already did it again.
I saw it.
One more time. We do it again. One more time.
Do it again.
Yo, just stay with me. Right here in the right here. Right there. See it? Everyone again.
I know it's hard to see, but if you look on the very right-hand side of your screen, when they show the very right-hand side, you can actually see like an energy wave and then something shoot out.
You can, mate. Trust me. You can. This is better footage. Here we go.
Okay, look. You can see it. Right there. This is the still shot. Okay? Now, what is all this?
Can you see all this stuff here? Right? But hang on. That's not all of it. Hang on. But see this? It's almost like a watermark. Look, all around here. But hang on.
Right.
And what is that?
This here, mate. This is crazy. This is crazy. And you actually see it go whoa in a minute.
Now let me go ahead and play that part. It's going to go quick. Just play. Let me play. Look. Yo. See that?
Yeah.
Yo, we back up a little bit. There's one right here. Watch this. Whoa. Let's go fast. Yo, miss that. Watch. Right there. Watch this. Nah, man. Look, it's right there. Oh, see it? See it, right? Yo, man. You seen this? Yo, you seen that shit, bro? Come here. Look, I'm gonna do it right now, bro. Look, right there.
Well, there!
Yo. Quiet, bro.
Once you actually see it, what they're looking at, you see it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a pulse, a big energy shift, and then something comes out. When in the beginning of this last video I just showed you guys, you can also see kind of like, it almost looks like an oil, like a weird energy in the middle of the video in the screen during the still shot in the beginning. Okay, so I literally just went through his video and recorded it in slow motion.
Here we go.
And I did some screenshots to show the differences in the energy shifts.
Nice.
Check it out. Pay very close attention to the right side of your screen.
Look at that.
Right.
Okay, watch. I'm gonna go slow. Watch. You can see the
Boom,
energy.
right there. Look,
Right
do you see all this? Let me show you again.
Okay, watch. I'm gonna go slow. Watch.
I'm gonna pause it. There, look, all this.
The energy, right there.
And then also, hang on.
Watch. You can see the energy.
Oh man, there's this bit here. Hang on, let me just show you again.
Okay, watch. I'm gonna go slow. Watch. You can.
Right there. This is what they're saying. Something. This person or whatever it is. Right with the foot here, and then maybe the arm or something.
You can see the energy, right there. You see it?
Look.
Right there.
It's when there's all this blurry shit, mate. All this blurry shit
see it?
around
Right
here.
there.
Oh, I look at that as well. I go, that's dodgy as shit.
That.
I know. I'm making up stuff in my head now. I know I am. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's just, you can imagine it.
Now look at the different, it's kind of like a blast of energy.
Yeah.
And it changes.
Yeah.
And there's actually kind of a dark figure
Yeah.
in the back of it. Now in the next second or so, that black figure is gone. And more energy shift. Boom. Yeah, that is so weird.
It is
I don't know if
weird.
It's just me and I'm tired. And
So friends, I wanted to show you that because a lot of the things, I know you're watching it like, oh, just this blurry stuff. Look, man, when you see one, you're like, oh man, why is it always a potato? Please, why is it always a potato? But then after you see about 50 of them, you realize, oh, you've heard enough stories now. So friends, just to let you know, humans, we're so dumb, man. These things are 100,000 years ahead of us. All right? 100,000 years ahead of us. You know, if you have a phone right now, if you have a phone and you are the CIA director in Americana, everyone else will know who can listen into that phone. They know who's listening. They know who's watching. Let's go further. If you have an internet connection at the CIA, don't you think everyone knows who can actually peek in? Who's connected to every single IP address? Yes, okay. That's us trying to see. So we know every single person who can actually listen in to the CIA stuff. All right. Well, if you just move that out 100,000 years, just keep doing that. You'll eventually get to technology where you can sense other senses. Radio, visual, camera, other people listening. Like, friends, for example, we even have like infrared stuff. Like you can detect heartbeats. You know, if any heartbeat human is around us within like 100 meters, okay, you get that. Well, a lot of these encounters, the videos are always potato. And then you realize, oh, okay, it's because they don't want us to really see. We can't actually see. They don't want us to see. They're blocking stuff. It's only human sight. But anything to do with like reflecting photons and any other electromagnetic waves, anything you do to actually visualize, can't see anything. They don't want you to see anything. Because friends, it's funny. We always think like, just walk up to this alien that's 1,000,000 years ahead of us and just take a picture, shake their hand, and then like, oh golly gee, we've solved it, everybody. Let's go back to being cavemen. Doesn't work like that. So you're never gonna get that information. Like, this is it. Or if you could see it, it would look like the JellyFish UFO. Now, this UFO, friends, it's real. See that? Look, it's floating. JellyFish UFO. I want to remind you, there is 100% confirmed US military people who were watching this. It's real. It's 100% real. They were watching it. They watched the thing, and this is what the army does, friends. See, they know everybody saw it, so what they did was, this is CIA. There's so many psyops here. In the video, they only let you see the floating part. They don't let you see the part. They edited this out where the UFO, the JellyFish UFO, goes into the water and then comes back out. They don't let you see that part because it looks too real. It looks too scary. It will confirm to you that they're all real. Okay, this is supposed to happen. This has happened over a lake. Over a city, I don't know, I forgot what this is. Oh, over Iraq. Look at this. Crazy. See this UFO ship? UFO, jellyfish. It's called the JellyFish UFO. Look at it, friends. Just an artifact floating in the earth. I don't know if you guys have play any video game on the PC. It looks like the game's kind of like glitched out, and it just it literally looks like it's literally glitched in the Matrix. The meme is actually real. It's kind of funny. Look, they just track it the whole time. This is what it looks like. You're like, hello, hello, Mr. UFO. You're just glitching around. They're like, what on earth is floating in the sky and doing that? You see that? Look at that. Crazy. It looks like it looks like some little like alien thing with like a mech warrior thing just floating around. Now remember the example I used, friends. If it's from another plane, that's what they look like. If we're just 2D creatures and we can't see what a 3D thing is. So it could be because we live in our dimension. It's a 3D world and we're bound by time. Maybe they're just in a higher dimension and they're just hologramming something in. So all we see is the 3D thing, but we can't even comprehend what it is out there. By the way, just to let you guys know, in our dimension, we're bound by time. You go a dimension higher, they can see all the timelines. All right, that's how they can predict future stuff. So they can see, so it's very, very hard. It's kind of like, you know, when me and you walk, we're like, oh, do I walk on the left path or the right path? Well, in their world, in their dimension, they can see the path where you walk left, you walk right, you stop walking, you turn around. They can see like a streamline of that. The ending of the, I don't know if you guys watched the movie Interstellar. You remember this part, friends? Interstellar is actually what I just described to you. This is Murphy! We're Interstellar. You remember this, friends? At the very, very end, what he's doing is Interstellar, the movie ending, okay? In the movie ending, this is what it looks like. You see what they're trying to do is they're trying to represent all these strings. You see in the background, he has all these timelines. That's basically the movie, that's at the end. Matthew McConaughey, he's in a world where he's just like, he's trying to look at every single timeline, and every timeline is represented by these little strings. So that's pretty much what he's looking at. So he's looking at all the strings. He's trying to look at, okay, go to the timeline where I'm telling my daughter how to like reverse engineer this stuff so we can save humanity, okay? So we can't comprehend it. Why? Me and you are bound by this time. We can only walk forward in time. There's only one timeline event. We can't do anything. But, you know, that's why there's some crazy stuff like John Mononical. Sometimes maybe these psychics, you know what, friends, you know when people experience paranormal stuff? It could be glitching matrix. It could be like our universes, they're bubbling and they kind of like overlap a bit. So you're seeing something in another time that's not even meant to happen now, and then it phases out. That's why our brains can't even interpret stuff like that. So, you know, when you see things like this appear, like I said, I think it's fascinating. You see one, yeah, it could be fake. You see 1,000, you're like, all right, something's going on now, okay? I want to know what you all think, friends. It's kind of funny. A lot of you guys actually, funny, man. A lot of you guys have seen UFOs. I haven't seen anything. I walk around looking up the sky every day. Hey, Mr. UFO, where are you? Nothing ever appears, but it'd be kind of sad if when we all see it, it's going to be a fake alien invasion by the US government. That's going to be pretty poopy. It'd be nice if there was some sort of better ending to that. But you know what's going to probably turn out to be true, friends? Once they finally have the revelations of this, you know, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, I don't know when. There are movies today that are out in Hollywood which tell us the truth about how things really are. We just don't know which parts and which movies. Like there's the movie Contact and Aliens. There are movies out there, 100%. There is the truth about what's going on out there, about maybe the universe, how many aliens there are, what they look like, are they benevolent or not, what's going on. You know, is the Matrix, friends, is the Matrix really reality? Is that what it is? When we die, our souls, basically, we actually wake up and then we actually like a battery. We don't know. But it's funny. The secrets get unlocked right now. We just don't know which ones they are. Fascinating, isn't it? Innocent. Okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, Babydoll and all. It's been a great journey, friends. UFO videos, my favorite. Catch you soon.